All right. Welcome to Black Women and Nutrition. I'm so happy to see all y'all sister girls in here as we talk about health and nutrition and what we can do to be our best selves. My name is Robin, certified nutrition specialist, and our intention tonight is to confirm what some of you may already know and inspire others of you to take action on some things that we can do for ourselves. We want to empower you and just share good information because we believe each one teach one, that we are the mothers, the creators, the teachers. Once you get some good information, we want you to be able to share it. Briefly, I'll tell you my story. 16 years ago, I was having a baby and I was pre-diabetic, overweight, and I had no clue about what to eat, what not to eat, anything about food or nutrition. And I started to study food and nutrition because I knew that I learned my habits from my mother. And as a mother, soon to be mother, what was I going to teach my child if I had no clue? So that's when I started to learn. And you just don't know what you don't know. And at that point, I was inspired to not only teach my child, but help my friends and family out as well. And that for 13 years, I have been a nutritionist. So that's what I want to say to you. There's this challenge there's this reconciliation we need to do between what we want and what we need. And y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Some things taste real, real good. And if I were to tell you, don't eat this, don't eat that, that sounds daunting. And so what I want to do, or what we're going to do today, is share with you how and what to put in your body versus what to take out of your body. And that seems a lot more positive. What I want you to understand is what nutrition is. And it's not just because you put something in your mouth that it was nutrition. And so nutrition is designed to build you from a cellular level, that what you put in your mouth, you want it to grow, build, and repair your cells. Anything less than that is not nutrition. It may have tasted good, but it wasn't nutrition, right? So we have to have this more of the stuff that will protect us than what is pulling us away from our health. And that's important about nutrition. You're going to hear from some women who, again, will inspire you, and they will tell you their journey and what they've discovered along the way. I want to say this too about health and nutrition. There is no get there. There is no, oh, when I lose weight then, or when I do this then. It's always going to be this journey of course correct, that you're going down the right path and then you got to pull it back, or like you're on a mechanical bull and you're trying to hold on. There's always going to be something to work on when it comes to something happened here. Where did I go? Okay, I don't know what happened. Did I go away? And do y'all still see me? Okay. What I also want you to know is there's certain things that you cannot do anything about, and here are the things that this is out of your control. You have to breathe, and by doing so, you're going to ingest toxins. There's nothing you can do about that. Also, when you eat, there's going to be a level of foods that you eat that do not serve you, which is why, again, it is imperative, sister friends, that we put what is armor for ourselves. We need to focus on what is going to build us up from a cellular level, our immune system, so that we have the ability to fight off what's getting us. Y'all know, and you know this, you see this, you know people, all of the things that are plaguing us, high blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmunes, being overweight, all of that, we Black women are at the top of that. We Black people are at the top of that. And there's something to be said about that. And so again, I'm gonna introduce you to my friends, but just know that our intention is just to inspire you when you get off of this call, for you to take action and do something different and inspire other people to do it too, because it feels good to feel good. And we are on a mission to help our sister girls do the same thing. So with that being said, I want to introduce you to the panel. They're just going to tell you a little bit about themselves, and then we're going to share with you our strategies to get our nutrition in and what we're doing and how we're doing it. So I want to first introduce you to Warlicia. Warlicia, where are you?
I'm right here.
All right, go for it. Who are you, girl, sister friend?
Okay.
Who are you?
I am Warlicia Fata, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am a mom of 3 and a wife. And I am, you want to just tell your age, I think I'm 53. That's what I am. I'm 53 this year, or I'll be 54 this year. I lost count at 50, so 50 something.
Thank you so much. And then Miss Brittany, where are you?
I am right here.
Awesome.
So my name is Brittany Ame, and it's really funny because I think the same thing about my age. I'm like, how old am I again? I'm 33 years old. I am a wife and mom of 2. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. I was a Division I volleyball player, a professional volleyball player, and I've been coaching for the past 13 years, and I love helping people live healthier lives.
Got it. Perfect, perfect. My BJ.
Hi, my name is BJ Struther, and I will be 75 in September. I'm the mother of 3, one's deceased, and I'm retired as the director of SEIU and the Teamsters. Worked in the labor field for 48 years. Awesome. And I'm married. My husband is the Bishop of Pakistan and India, and we're both pastors.
And you've been married 45 years. I had to throw that in there because that's beautiful. Yes. And Miss Josephine. Josephine.
I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Josephine Kemunto Achira Onwanga. Social media, you see me as Kemunto Achira. I'm on the East Coast. It's actually 9 p.m. here. We're about to go to bed. And I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 4 amazing children, 2 boys and 2 girls. I'm a nurse, career-wise. I'm a nurse educator, currently working in hospice setting. But my passion is in health and wellness. And I'm just so blessed to be here tonight. And I am 50 years young.
All right, get down. Yay! All right, so here's what we're gonna talk about first. I don't know if any of y'all are out there thinking about growing food for yourself. I don't know if you think about that. And I knew, and I still know, that I'm not a gardener. I couldn't imagine getting in the soil and doing all that. I can't imagine that. But here's what's true about the food that you get when you go to the grocery store. I'm not making this up. This is the real deal. We're always going to say, and you've always heard, eat fruits and vegetables. That's never going out of style. Any illness, disease, you go to the doctor, they're going to ask you how your diet is, and they're going to say, well, you need to get more fruits and vegetables. But with that being said, a lot of people don't realize how much they need and why they need as much as we need. It used to be that we needed 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, and now we're looking at close to 7 to 13, which sounds crazy. And the reason why that number keeps going up is because the nutritional value that's in what we get traditionally in the stores doesn't have what our bodies need. So when you grow your own produce, you know what you grew. It didn't travel all over the country. It's picked ripe and fresh with all the nutrients intact. When you go to the store and you pick up the broccoli or the apple or whatever it is that you get, it traveled and it wasn't picked right. It was picked before it was ripe. And in a lot of cases, people don't know that the chemicals are put in there to ripen it or have it to look pretty. Because when you go to the store, everything's all shiny. That's so that you can eat it, but it may not taste like a tomato or taste like a cucumber. So one of the things, sister friends, we want to inspire you to do is consider growing your own food. Consider growing your own food and know that it can be done, and it can be done with ease because I am not a gardener. So what we're going to introduce you to is the way that we all grow without soil And the question that people come up, they say, well, how do you grow without soil? First of all, the soil that we have, it's tainted. So we grow without soil in an hydroponic system, aeroponic hydroponic system, and the nutrients are placed in the water, high quality nutrients that are fed right to your plants. And this makes our plants grow faster, quicker, less water, less maintenance. So what I'm going to ask my panelists is to show us, for some of us are going to show us how they're growing and what they're actually growing from it. So Warlesia, who is in Nevada, she grows inside and outside. But Warlesia, can you show us your how you're growing and what you're growing?
Yes. So I am growing a host of different things because I started with a lot of exotic lettuce. So I actually have some spicy lettuce and some bib lettuce, regular lettuce. I have kale and I have mint. I have chocolate mint that I put in my smoothies. It is, oh my goodness, it's so good. Oh, that is really, really good. Right now I'm growing pepper. I'm trying something new. I usually grow my pepper outside, but as I mentioned before, I have a fan. I don't know if you can see this. I have a fan that sits on my floor. When the water comes on, it's on a timer. So when the water comes on to water the roots, the fan comes on and it blows. And that's a twofold. It will help with what is it? What the flowers need? The
Pollination. Pollination.
Pollination. That word just really slipped out of my head. So it will help with pollination. And then it will also help with people that grow inside. They find that they may have little bugs or something that might come in from outside and they'll come on your plants. But I don't have any problem with any bugs or anything on my plant inside because I do have this fan. And when the fan blows on the plants, the bugs don't like it, so they don't touch it. So I absolutely love that. But I'm growing a lot of different things this time on my plant that on my tower that I usually do not. Outside, I have watermelon and cantaloupe and
Wow.
eggplant and cucumbers,
Really?
things like that. Yes, and some really
So
flowery
watermelon,
things.
eggplant, so we can grow basically everything but root vegetables being like beets and carrots and onions. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And Brittany, what are you growing?
Yeah, so I just started growing a little over a year ago, and similar to Robin, I had never grown anything before, so I was a little bit terrified of this, but it's really, really easy. I'm growing a whole bunch of butter lettuce. I'm growing cilantro, green onion, spinach, kale. Like, what else is on here? Tomatoes. I think that's everything, but this is a little bit different. I just cleaned it up. So these are my babies right here that are starting to grow. This is about 2.5, 3 weeks, and they're ready to harvest almost. So
yeah, we can eat in about 30 days, which is unlike when you're doing traditional gardening, trying to eat in 30 days. So that's important. So Ma BJ, I love this story. What have you grown in the past in your garden?
All the spices and the lettuces and the various kinds of greens that I like. And we have moved, and so I got to start all over again, but I was able just to pick up my tower garden in one piece and bring it over to my new residence. So
awesome.
Calling Dr. Burnett and them to help me get it going again.
I mean, I think about that. Try, if y'all have a traditional garden, try to move and pick up your garden and move it with you. It doesn't happen. So this is a way to keep your garden with you no matter where you go. And then Josephine, what have you grown?
Wow. I have grown so many different things. I love kale variety, lettuces. What I did try to do are things that I never ate before, but I could grow them on the tower so I can try them. Believe me, I've never had sweet chard until I grew it on the tower, and it's amazing. I never had dandelion. I tried to grow it on the tower. It's actually, I still have it. My tower is upstairs, and I love it in my smoothie and in my salads. Didn't know Mizuna existed. One of our sisters was growing different kinds of Mizunas. I'm like, what is that? It's green, it's edible. I say, let me try it. And guys, it makes the salad taste really nice. It has just, it adds a different texture to the salads and stuff. So I grow arugula and the parsley. I love cilantro. You cut it and it keeps growing. And that's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So.
it keeps growing. I know that some people are in the chat asking, well, what is it? And I would say to you all that whoever invited you here has all the details as to where to get it and all the stuff, because we, I know there's like 100 people in here. We've completely maxed out, so there's no more room. So we won't be able to answer all the questions, but definitely get with the person that invited you here. We are a community of Black girl gardeners, honey. We grow our fruits and vegetables, watermelon, all kinds of stuff. So don't be left out of growing it, because again, you're getting it organic right outside, a farmer's market outside or inside of your house. And when you grow it, you eat it. If you have kids, they'll want to eat it if they grow it. And Brittany, she has young ones, so you know that. So that's one thing that you all can do. One thing that you can do is commit. I love it. We are urban farmers. Yes, we are. Thank you, Sunny. We are urban farmers. So that's one thing that you all can do to increase the powerfulness of your nutrition, is to grow your own. Now, the second thing, some of you have heard this. Some of you, you're like, you're going to say this again. We also have found another way. So we grow it, right? But we also take our fruits and vegetables in capsules or chewables. And let me say this, because I definitely want to say this. When I first heard about that, I literally ignored it because I thought it was a gimmick. I'm like, yeah, right. Fruits and vegetables in a capsule. I thought it was just a vitamin or all of that, right? So I really didn't understand it, even as a nutritionist. But once I started to understand the pits, the peel, the seeds, how many of y'all eat the orange peel or a lemon peel? That's where the nutrition is. What do you think would happen? Think about this, sisters. What do you think would happen if you flooded your body every day with 30 different raw, vine-ripened produce, the pits, the peel, the seed, the core, all of that every day? What do you think would happen? What I want to do is I want to put it out to the panel and have them share. My first question to you all is, why did this make sense? And what made you even start taking this? And then share your experience and the benefits that you found. So I'm going to start with Josephine, because all of you have such a powerful story, but yours is almost a tearjerker in a sense. So share with us how this came into your life.
Thank you, Robin. It's always a pleasure to be able to share this, because many times our stories, you don't know who can resonate with it and it can be an answer to somebody's prayer. And this was in 2014. I was a desperate mother. My child was in a health crisis for over 3 years, not able to eat and keep anything down. He had an issue with, they call it eosinophilic esophagitis. He had inflammation of the esophagus. And we did diet elimination. You're a nutritionist, so you know that. We worked with a dietitian to eliminate, different food groups, and that did not help. So he never went to school. His 7th grade classroom, he never stepped foot in that class. I took family medical leave, my sisters, and I know there's brothers on this call as well. We can't leave you out. And to be home with my child. So 3 days a week, we were going to a pain clinic so he can learn how to live with pain and cope with pain. And it's a long story, and it makes me emotional when I think about it. But the truth is, God knew why he had to take me through that journey of 3 years of suffering and agony. At some point, I thought I was going to lose my child. You could literally count his ribs. In 2017, the doctors were talking about a feeding tube. I'm a nurse. So taking care of patients out there and then come and take care of my son was really, I want to say it was depressing to even think about it. You know, prayers were going up until I was looking for a solution. We tried everything we could that is natural. You know, when you're a mother and you're going through something, or a parent or a grandparent, friends and family, they tell you, try this, try that. Guys, I tried everything I could. My cabinet, every 3 months, there was something new that we were trying. 2017, when I was being told that David needed to have a feeding tube, at that point, and I knew he needed the nutrition. But at that point, I was like, no. A sister in my church had told me about these amazing concentrated whole foods, plant powders. Just like Robin, I was like, it's fruits and vegetables. We eat well, but it won't hurt. Let me just add it. And that's exactly what we did in August of 2018. Kid you not, 4 months later, my son I could just see he lit up. We were not going to the emergency room every month. We didn't need to call the doctor for, emergency medications and stuff like that. He actually went back to school. And to really cut the long story short, in those 4 to 6 months, and we're not making any claims for keyword here, guys. We do know, like Robin said, good nutrition does amazing things for the body. My son just needed that nutrition. He had a leaky gut. You can go read on that. I came to find out it was a leaky gut later on. And so it needed to be repaired. His good bacteria in the stomach were completely destroyed. These plant powders, guys, repaired my son's gut, and he was able to just enjoy healthy after that. He's never missed a day of school since then. He's an athlete in college right now, and graduated, top of his class. Isn't that wonderful? And it just through food, guys, through these amazing plant powders. And it's a long story, but I'm just grateful that I found this amazing product, this community, and I tried it along the way as well. And what happened was I had seasonal allergies that were very bad. But for 3 years now, I've never touched my Zatek, and I enjoy being outdoors during change of season. So the immunity, I love the research on immunity, and that's what I brag about, because I saw it happen to my son and I saw it happen to me. So my son is down from 7 medications to 2 medications. Like I said, we're not claiming keyword here, but nutrition did something for my son, and he's able to enjoy health, fulfilling lives. And that's why I'm here, because I want to be able to be a blessing to somebody else. Thank you, Robin, for the opportunity. And I'm glad I made it through without crying.
I know. It's amazing, because the nutrition knows where to go. So Brittany, you share with us your how you discovered upon the plant powders and just your journey as
I had a friend of mine who had been talking to me about it for about a year. And as an athlete, we are approached about things all the time. And so I felt like, this is just some other thing. And I also felt like, I'm an athlete. I know what health is. I'm good. I eat enough fruits and vegetables. And I got educated, just plain and simple. I got educated on what this really was. I was able to see the research and the science behind it, and it was like astounding. I was 6.5 months pregnant, and I realized I want the best going in my body. I had already had my son, and so it was kind of cool to be able to compare the 2 pregnancies, one on prenatal vitamins and then one on whole food nutrition. So the energy was definitely higher, and it's the way to go for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. My BJ, how did you stumble upon these plant powders, and what has been your experience?
Well, of course, Dr. Bernetta shared it with me. I started off with the capsules of plant powder. and very quickly changed to the gummies. The capsules made me feel like I was taking medicine. But the gummies, man, they were so good. I really couldn't wait to get up to take them. I kind of got started at a time when I had just had a mild stroke. And being in medical, I knew what to do for myself in terms of not being dehydrated and stuff like that. But I wasn't eating correctly. At the same time, my husband had been a hospice patient, having given 2 weeks to live some time ago, and I was caretaking him. So I was very tired. But I started on the gummies, and they were delicious. And I realized as time went on, my gums, all the dental expenses I was paying for gum disease and stuff started improving. My hair was getting stronger, and everybody's different with it. I now don't pay to have nails put on because I have my own nails now, and they're strong. So I benefited because I don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. And when I saw that I could have these, I take the trio, and that's going to give me like 30 something fruits and vegetables into my system every day and build up my immune system, because I haven't been vaccinated, but it's building up my immune system. So all that I have to do with COVID is take vitamin D with it. But so it's caused me to save money in the medical area, at the dentist, at the nail salon, the hair salon. So, all that pays for my tablets and gummies.
Yes, you said it right. Thank you, my BJ. We're going to hear from you in a little bit. Someone's asking me. So, Warlicia, how did you stumble upon this, and what's been your experience?
Well, when I was introduced, I just felt like it was a simple thing. I knew my family were not getting enough fruits and vegetables in their system. And I had 2 athletes in my life. My daughter and my son were both in basketball, playing basketball. So I said, well, they need fruits and vegetables. So I just felt like it was simple, but I didn't really think that it was anything other than just that, just some fruits and vegetables. Okay, what's wrong with the extra fruits and vegetables? But little did I know just how well these little plant powders was going to be. Very powerful. And I did not even know. I knew I was always tired all of the time, but I didn't realize how chronically fatigued I was until 4 days after eating these plant powders. And I had energy from all over, and I could not stop telling people about these things. I had to go back and look at the bottles again and say, this is just fruits and vegetables in here, and it's giving me this much energy. Oh my goodness. And my husband, he was suffering from high blood pressure really, really bad. And now his blood pressure is like a teenager. So he gets, whenever he takes his blood pressure, it's like 119 over 65. And he was through the roof at one point, and we both were pre-diabetic. So, and we're no longer pre-diabetic anymore. And so, of course, I share it with my family, and my mother was on 7 different medications, and she was about to get a hip replacement. Her husband was building a step so she can get in and out of the bed. That's how bad it was. And within only 4 months, we went to an event, and this is a thing that gives me goosebumps too. Within 4 months, we went to an event, and she was able to dance in the aisle with my oldest son. And she wasn't able to dance for years, and she loves dancing. And she wasn't able to do that for years because of her hip and the arthritis that radiated down her spine. So I knew at that moment that this is something I'm going to be eating for the rest of my life. So I'm so truly grateful that I was introduced to these plant powders, and we brought it into our family lives, because from that point on, we just have everybody in our family and our friends, whoever was in hearing distance, heard about these plant powders, and we made them eat them. Yes.
And we do. People that we love, we can't keep quiet. So hang on with us a little bit, you all. I know we're at our capacity and we're almost toward the end, but there's a couple things I want to say to you all that are listening, and then have to the panel, because people hear this information and like a lot of us, we're like, yeah, right, this doesn't work. Fruits and vegetables, all of that, or, oh, I already take vitamin. And people say all kinds of stuff. So let me bring up some of the things that people say to us, our sister friends. This is what y'all say to us. One of the things is they'll say, oh, well, it costs too much. Now, that's what I said. That was I kid you not, I'm a nutritionist. I'm all about myself. And this, when I tell you this is a true story, when I was introduced to it, I'm like, how much does it cost? Now, keep in mind, I just bought a new Michael Kors bag and I had some real nice lambskin boots on, real nice. Michael Kors ain't never called me. Don't check on me. Is not building me up, honey. I am Vogue on the outside and vague in the inside, right? Just looking, and that's what we do. We are always pretty. We always have our hair done. But when somebody talk about some nutrition, we're like, let me call my doctor. Let me see. Stop it right there. If you add up, go to the grocery store and pull 30 different raw fruits and vegetables and get that with your calculator and see how much it comes to. Is this expensive? Heck no. And I tell you, it's less than a cup of Starbucks a day. So that's what people say. It costs too much. We gotta, what is your health worth, right? I don't want to go out on a tangent. The next thing people say is, I already eat fruits and vegetables. I'm okay. So Josephine, what would you say to that when people say that? Because they say it all the time.
Well, I said that too, you know. I was like, I eat all this kale, I do that. But what I didn't know is, you know, eating them in raw nature and vine ripened, as Robin said earlier, they really have to be vine ripened. And what that means is the nutritional value has matured completely, and being able to eat them in that way. And not only vine ripened, but variety. And that's something I always thought we ate well, but we didn't eat the variety. You're gonna have to eat the rainbow, the different colors. And some of you here, maybe you are like me, what I never liked eating, I really never gave it to my children. And I feel so bad saying that, but now I'm growing it on the tower, so hope they can enjoy it. So variety, and also eating it raw. Who knew that kale is the #1 anti-cancer fighting, you know, properties if you eat it raw? That's big, guys. Black people, we suffer from all these things. So stop cooking that kale until it turns brown, please, because I used to do it.
And the next people say, I already take vitamins, right? I take vitamins. I'm okay. I don't need another vitamin. Brittany, what do we say about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, just like my story, I was taking a prenatal vitamin beforehand. There's just a big difference. Vitamins are isolated. This is whole food nutrition. Our body knows exactly what to do with it. Our body absorbs it and uses every little bit of it, the peels, the seeds, everything. And with vitamins, there's a lot that our body doesn't know what to do with. And unfortunately, we just like pee it right out. So whole food nutrition, our body knows exactly what to do with.
And what people don't know is if you look at the label, it's a nutrition fact. So this is what I want people to know. If you go to the store and you get broccoli out of the freezer, it's going to have a label that says nutrition facts. So when you're taking these whole food plant powders, it says nutrition facts. Everything else in your cabinet, I bet you it says supplement facts. And that's how you know this is food. It's considered food, not a multivitamin. All right, the next people say, now those of you who take the plant powders, but you don't take them consistently. So I'm gonna talk to when people say, well, I have them and I don't take them, or I have them and I don't see any results. I'm gonna speak to results, and then I'm gonna speak to how to be consistent. So the first thing that people say is, I don't see results. So I would say to you, if you're not taking them consistently, then you don't know if you have results. Because if you're sparingly every now and then, they're designed to be taken daily. We'll give you some tips on that. The other part is you hear these stories, right? And you're like, oh my goodness, that's not my story. Nutrition knows what to do. And then the other thing is you don't feel, I didn't get sick today. You don't feel that. So from a cellular level, if your cells are combating all the toxins in the world and you feel good, well, you feel good. So you can't say, you can't feel I was gonna get sick and now I'm not. But the other thing, I'm that person that had I didn't feel anything, right? I'm like, okay, I'm taking it because they say that it's working, until a year later, I realized I wasn't putting Visine in my eyes anymore. They weren't red. So I had allergies. I didn't even know. My hair is down to my booty, keeps growing. My beautician's like, I just did your hair. Why is it growing? I used to wear fake nails, gone. And then my teeth don't bleed anymore. And it took me a year for that to happen. So I would say to you, if you don't take them consistently, well, then you got to do that. And then you can't feel prevention. The last thing I want to give you all before we wrap this up is how to be consistent, right? So my BJ, she takes the chewables opposed to the capsules. So just speak on that for just a second, my BJ, of how that works for you better.
Number one, they taste very good. So it's kind of one of the first things I want to do in the morning. And when I do that, and I have some additional fruit with it and my water, I am not as hungry. Now, I must say this. I couple taking those with also going on the SHRED program, because she talked about what food's in, what food's out. And I went on that for 10 days. Yeah. And they tricked me. They just said, just eat this way. Don't eat this food for 10 days. And I did that. And in 10 days, I lost 6 pounds and I didn't have swelling and inflammation. I also at the time suffered from high blood pressure and high cholesterol. So I just decided to just keep the gummies and the SHRED program as my new way of eating. And I have been eating that way. But in order to do it and stay consistent, I had to think about me. Yeah. I know I cheat. If I don't have food, the right food cooked, I'm gonna just grab anything. So I had to think about planning my menu for the whole week. I looked at the stuff I couldn't eat, and I saved money by not buying the other kinds of food in the store. So I knocked $50 a week off my food bill, which in turn also paid for what I was getting.
I heard that. And thank you.
I'm making my own budget pay for it. I'm not adding additional expense to it. It's already saved me dental money, nail money, hair money, but I also knocked it off the food budget and made the food budget pay for it. So I'd buy the things that need to be in. Then I would cook by the week, 3 or 4 dishes at the same time, lots of it like Jesus did, that double manna. So I fixed double stuff, froze some of it for the next month, so I wouldn't have to be cooking every day. So I managed it by buying the right foods, cooking the right foods in advance and having them already prepared. And to cheat, I buy the little salads that had low sodium. So if I didn't feel like cooking, I could grab salad and fruit right out of the refrigerator that's already in the baggie, cut up, so that when I felt like cheating, it was already there.
I want to say this too with my BJ. So my BJ mentored a program called the SHRED, which we won't have time to talk about it, sister friends, and we won't go into it. But my BJ takes her chewables, and then we also have a program which I would call step 2, because step 1 is just flood your body with the produce, and step 2, my BJ did a program where she changed her nutrition. And you actually went from a size what to what? Tell us real quick.
Size 16, and I'm wearing between an 8 and 10. So I started at 180, and now I'm like 132.
Yeah. So bear with us, everybody. We're wrapping it up. I know they know I'm like this time person, but this is just good information. So Warlesia, you take the capsules, but you do it in such a way that I do it now too. What do you do to make sure you're consistent?
I throw all of my capsules in my smoothie, and I just make my smoothie every day because I love smoothie. I'm a sweet tooth, so I love to make something that tastes good or sweet. So I do my smoothie, put some strawberries in here, but I throw all my capsules, even my omegas, in my smoothie.
And you don't even open them up.
I don't open anything up. capsules, everything. Just throw it in there, and I'm done. And I'm like my BJ. She do double and triple. I do the same thing. I do triple almost every day.
So I would say this, sister friends, as we wrap this up, and this is the thing, we could talk for hours and we're just scratching the surface. Part of me feels like we need to like have a part 2 because there's just so much to talk about and we just, needed to condense it. So what I want to say to you all, those that are here, get with the person that invited you here and figure out how you can start growing and or adding these plant powders. Some of you have heard, you hear this and you're inspired, and I just take action. Take action. Don't wait and think about it, because what if you take these plant powders for 4 months and it really does help you and your family? And what if it doesn't, right? You 4 months later and what? Take the investment in yourself and prove us wrong, right? Try it, see what happens. So I say that, and as we wrap up again, I would just thank you all for being here. Thank you to our panelists, Warlicia, Josephine, Brittany, and Mob BJ. You all have been amazing, and Dr. Bernetta in the background for being our co-host, letting folks in here. And I'm going to stop the